the start of a live when nobody's here and you have to talk to yourself and and it's just very awkward, I think. Hi. It doesn't take long for people to come in. I have a live today with Richie. I'm just waiting for him to join and then I will invite him. And hi everyone, I hope you're all having a very nice day. English lover, I have a live with a person organised today, so next time if you want we can do a live together. I'm just waiting for him to come in the live so we can just chat for a minute, because we are here, you are here, that is true, you are here, you are present. Everybody put their hand up, everybody wave if you're present. Hi Mary. Hi Trust UK, Trusts UK even. I'm doing okay. The weather is beautiful in England at the minute. The sun is shining, so I'm doing well. I'm getting a bit sunburned. Oh, you can't really see, but on my neck. Is Richie late or are you early? Richie is late. I messaged him like, I'm gonna be going live in about 30 seconds, so as long as that's okay, then then that's. I thought Richie was in here then. You have an informative post. Thank you very much. Here he is. Richie, can you request to join? I don't know if you did already. Oh, I can. Yeah, I messaged him and I was like, yeah, it'll be about 30 seconds, but I didn't see it pop up. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna say, hey Richie, how you doing?
It's been a very nice day, but I'm a little bit tired because
it looks very sunny there.
Once again?
It looks very sunny there.
You know, it's just the lights, nothing else. That's my room here.
Optical illusion.
Lights.
It's very sunny here.
Okay, here it's a little bit cloudy. It's a little bit cloudy, but
well, you'd
don't
never
know.
know.
It's gonna be better maybe.
From the way it looks blindingly sunny there.
Yeah, I know.
You can pretend it is.
Two lamps and a fan or something, like a ceiling lamp or something. Two floor lamps and a ceiling lamp. That's it.
I need a fan in here. I've got my door and my window closed because there's people outside talking. So if I had them open, then everyone would hear and it would be very distracting. So throughout this live, I'm probably going to start getting quite sweaty because it's very hot in this room and
all right.
But you know, the things we do for a live.
Yeah, that's what we do. No worries. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Well, actually, you invited me. I'm the host of the live, but actually Richie me and Richie for a long time have kept saying we need to do a live together.
How many, like 4 months, 4 months, something
easily.
Like this?
But every time Richie's free, I'm working, or every time I'm free, then you have lessons or something, like you're teaching. So yeah, it's just took a long time to organize, longer than
definitely.
And I'm gonna drink a lot today because it's
here's my energy drink as well. It's energy drink.
Yeah, but like what flavor? I've never seen that before.
What's pineberry and guava or something?
Ooh,
pineberry and guava.
That's very fancy for an energy drink.
Don't know. After this live, there's going to be another live with some Brazilian
yeah, so
guys.
If you guys don't follow Richie, then follow him now, because straight after this live, he's doing another one. So you get like double dose of Richie today.
Oh God. Oh my God. I think it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit over the top or too much, maybe. I don't know.
That sounds good though.
Excessive violence of me. I don't know. No. But after that, I'm going to a pub. It's going to be, the first opening after about 3 months. My favorite pub. It's a British.
They're not opening here yet.
It's a British pub, so we're going to be expecting a lot of British people, and I can talk to native people just like you. Not via, you know, the
double Richie, double
Instagram.
trouble. Someone's put in the chat, double Richie, double trouble. I agree.
Maybe. It's not going to be. There's going to be a lot of whiskey though. There's going to be a lot.
Oh, see, I don't like whiskey.
Why don't you like whiskey? Okay, because you're a lady.
I actually don't drink alcohol at all.
So, all right.
No.
So, no worries.
No, it's not.
I'm a little
not
bit.
my poison.
Okay.
Me, like a nice orange juice any day over over alcohol.
A tad bit of vodka in it, yeah.
Yeah, like if I can drink alcohol if I can't taste alcohol, but if I can taste it, you know, if it's like orange juice and vodka or something, and you can taste the vodka, I'm like, ugh, don't like this.
Ah, okay, I can understand.
So I can like drink that way, but I just don't really drink. I don't really go to social events, so I don't need to drink.
A very social person.
Sorry?
A very social person, I am.
Yeah, I'm not.
Sociable, very sociable.
Yeah, I'm very introverted. I hate cider. I hate it. Hate
Extroverted, introverted. That's
yeah,
okay.
there you go.
Like, you know, like an alpha and the omega of the spectrum or something.
Definitely. What makes the pub British then? Is it like quite sort of British style on the inside, or is it just
inside, outside? You know, everything. And of course, you know, the owner of the pub used to live in England as well, and his older brother, I think.
I drink like a fish. Me too.
He used to live in Birmingham, and you know that was the conception and the inception of, okay, we need to because there's nothing like here in Budapest, and maybe we need to start a business like a true, authentic British pub, because everything, all the ales, the ciders, whiskey are from British sources, and it looks quite cozy, really nice.
Yeah, British pubs are really cozy. They're a bit dirty.
That one is tiny but really cozy, actually. Like you, and there's like regulars just like myself, and of course a lot of tourists come in because it has an absolutely amazing name. And when you know, when people go down the street, they instantly recognize it and notice it and recognize it. Oh, we need to go in, because you know the name of the pub is London Stone Pub. Oh, London. Okay. Everyone recognizes London. There you go. Like so, London, we need to go in. We need to get in. We need to get to London.
And obviously it's nice in there too. Sometimes you get, everywhere I go, I find like an English pub or an English like style restaurant that's meant to be like a pub. And some of them are really great and some of them are awful.
Horrible. Yeah, yes,
you're like,
exactly.
This isn't doing England proud.
When I first came back, I was looking for British pubs, and we've got there was like a billboard or something that advertised real British breakfast, and I was I'm a sucker for a real British breakfast. I went into the pub or went into the restaurant, or kind of like a pubish, restaurantish something, and I like an English breakfast. That would be fantastic. Thank you. And I actually found a Hungarian sausage in the English breakfast, and I was like, okay, make it. I should make a complaint because this here is not an English sausage. And they said, okay, we know that, but we have only this kind of sausage. And I said, okay, then don't call it English breakfast.
Yeah, this isn't British.
Exactly, because that's Hungarian. That's Hungarian sausage, please, and I'm not paying for it.
Oh, that's a shame.
It was. But this pub is I think it's not truly on 100% authentic, but very, very close to it.
Yeah, as close as you can get. Also, I just realised we're like 5 minutes in, and even though you invited me, I'm the host, so most people here probably are followers of mine. Richie, do you want to introduce yourself so that my followers and your followers that maybe don't interact with you know who you are and what you do?
My name is Richard.
Mhm.
My name is Richard. Very Hungarian name. No, it's not. And I'm a teacher. I teach English in Hungary, in Budapest. I live in Budapest. Used to live in the UK for about 3.5 years. It was absolutely amazing. I lived in the north. I don't know if anyone. Maybe we can ask people. You interact with people. I don't know if you don't mind. Does anybody know that any kind of shires or counties in the north of England? Any shires?
I live in a shire.
Yeah, you live in a shire, you know?
There are many shires in England.
Yes, with the hobbits, I know.
With the hobbit. I am one of them. With my height, I am a hobbit.
I don't know, but I'm Smeagol. So anyone, a northern shire in England, a northern shire in England, not Lancashire, no, never, no, never.
Also, do you notice how when we say shire on its own, we say shire, but when you pronounce the whole word, it's like Lancashire, Nottinghamshire.
Yeah, yes, Lancashire.
Good language English, isn't it?
It's actually not Lancashire.
What are they talking about? Right, name a shire.
Yeah,
in the north of England.
Please name a shire. Name a shire in the north. It's not Lancashire. It's not Lancashire.
Hi, Fast Fluency Institute. Hi, everyone. Hi, guys and girls, lads, ladies, gentlemen.
Leeds. Leeds is a big city in that shire. Leeds is a big city in that shire.
I mean, I'm not.
Not Bedfordshire. Not Bedfordshire. That's in the south.
I know, Mercia.
Mercia. Maybe in the Middle Ages. Yes, the Vikings. But actually, Mercia, Nottingham, where you live, Tika, and Nottingham was part of Mercia.
I didn't know that. I don't know much about my country's geography, if I'm honest. Please record. We will. I will. Last time I had a live, I accidentally didn't keep it because I'd never done a live where I'd been the host, and I just clicked end.
That's what I did.
Now
that's what I did.
That they don't save. They post as like an IGTV video or something. So I'll do that. Whatever it asks me to do, I shall do it. I don't know what it will ask me to do.
Okay, help. Sean Bean is from that shire.
I don't know where he's from. Is the word vagabond common there? No.
Yeah. Mark Addy is from that shire, and Full Monty, you know the film, Full Monty.
This is a bit before my time, to be honest, Richie.
All right. So Yorkshire, I lived in Yorkshire. I lived in Yorkshire for 3.5.
I've never been there. It looks like a nice place, though.
Haven't you ever been in Yorkshire?
No, I haven't been to many places in England, to be honest.
Really?
Surprisingly.
It is.
Like when you live in England, you don't visit other places in England because, I don't know, they're just kind of other cities. They don't have like anything special other than like some of the architecture. I really want to go to a few like coastal places, maybe.
Should I feel offended? Should I feel offended?
No, it's just part of the drive.
Yo, white rose.
Richie's more British than I am, I think.
No, I'm not.
I'm British by born and raised, but in my heart, I think in heart, I think Richie is more British.
No, definitely not.
Hi,
so anyway, and how's your day been?
My day has been okay. I went for a walk quite early because it's so hot in England at the minute. Well, like hot for a British person. It's like mid-20s, and I have Irish ancestry, so thus I have very Irish skin. So I burn easily. So you get me out in the sun and I burn very easily. I'm about to become a tour guide in England. That's pretty cool. You can probably show me around. You probably know about England more than
It's one of the best ways of learning.
yeah.
One of the best ways of learning.
Definitely.
Exactly. When I lived in England, I always went to tours, like, you know, these ghost walks and sightseeing tours and
Oh,
things.
I've never been on a ghost walk. I think I'd be a bit creeped out.
No, it's just a good excuse for drinking. That's it.
On a ghost tour? Is that what you do?
Exactly.
You just
Ghost
drink?
walk, yeah. We went to pubs
No
and
wonder
things.
people see ghosts if they're like super drunk.
Exactly. That's a ghost.
I need that.
No. That was an entity. No, it's just puking over.
It's just a drunk person, really. You're just that drunk that you start like hallucinating.
Oh, hallucinating. Exactly. Anything? Can you feel anything? Yeah. Okay, so I just touch you. Okay.
Right, I'll have your money now, thank you. It's a real life ghost.
Exactly. But
Nice.
it's fun. It's fun. And maybe that's why I've learned a lot about, you know, history.
Yeah. To be honest, I've never thought of that really. You know, when people ask good ways to learn English, yeah, go on tours that are spoken in English. Even if you don't understand everything, you've literally got people pointing at things.
Yes.
Saying words.
For example, York Dungeons is absolutely amazing because there's actors and actresses who actually act out what's happening. So if you don't speak English, you'll understand everything. Actually, I was because it's an interactive. Because it's an interactive. I wouldn't say tour, but you can tour around. You just tour around a certain building. Sorry, all over the places, chambers and.
Pause then because I've got low battery. I'm just plugging my phone in. I'm listening.
All right, and there was a chamber, and
hi Jason.
My ex then girlfriend and we were convicted for witchcraft and we were burnt on the stake.
That's crazy.
That's interactive, and that's why you can understand everything actually, because they act it out for you, and you can be part of the, let's say, act or something.
That sounds
slang.
I would go.
All right. Puyam Persia, slang is important. Tika, what do you say?
It depends really. Slang is used quite often in, you know, native speakers' speech. I would say that it's fairly important, but I wouldn't be stressed if you don't know all slang ever. Just learn my common slang.
You're mugging me off now. You're mugging me off now.
No, I don't like to put pressure on people to learn. I do think slang is important. I would say compared to idioms, slang is important. Learn general vocabulary first and slang within that. You know, if you don't know like the names of like pieces of furniture, but you want to learn slang, I'd say learn
the pieces of furniture
first. Yeah,
that's the step you have to or you must do before them.
Yeah, it depends. Obviously, it depends at what point your slang versus proper English. Like, what do you class as proper English? Like, I don't know what would be classed as proper.
Hey up, Yorkshire, hey up. For example, this one here, hello. It's proper English. I think that's what they want to imply. Hello, proper English. But when you go to Yorkshire, instead of hello, you'll hear hey up quite a lot, and that can be a dialect or Yorkshire slang.
Yeah. Also, adding on to that, slang can be very regional. So slang is important to learn, but it's very different. I might not even know some of the slang you know, with you having lived in Yorkshire. me living in Nottinghamshire, we probably have very different slang. You know, I use
Exactly.
slang that nobody else knows.
Exactly.
Normal posh language, received pronunciation. Normal posh language, aka received pronunciation.
I don't really fancy it. I don't
You're
really
pretty
fancy it.
smoking. I
It's
love that, Hanson.
it's like to me it sounds pretentious.
Most people don't speak with received pronunciation.
Yes.
Even
That's
I don't
the
speak
first
with
one.
received
That's the
pronunciation.
first thing. Exactly. Even her, she doesn't speak RP.
Yeah.
I can detect, you know, the first when I heard you, I could detect something that was okay. Maybe you were from up somewhere.
Yeah, it's rare to find people who speak with proper received pronunciation. E by gum.
I've never heard it. I've
What,
never
E
heard
by
it
gum?
actually. It
They
means
don't
oh
use it
my
over
God.
here.
It means oh my God in Yorkshire, but I've
Yeah.
never heard it. I'm telling you, I've lived there for 3.5 years. I've never heard it. But Aop, I've heard it a lot.
What would your thought about acquiring a language in less than 1 year? What is the vital skill a person should acquire first and second? If you want to, you can acquire any language in less than that time. You won't necessarily. Your dedication and sort of how much effort you put into a language. I just read that like Prince Charles accent. The dedication and effort you put into a language will dictate on how much you acquire it. I always say, which is helpful but not helpful, is every person needs to find how they learn a language best. Because I could say, oh, you know, you can acquire a language by reading loads of books because maybe that's how I acquired a language, but you might not like reading at all. Richie, where are you from, sir?
Active and IELTS. Maybe you want Adam and Eve it. Maybe you want Adam and Eve it, but I'm not a native speaker, and I never sound like a native speaker. Never will be a native speaker. I'm actually from a Middle Eastern European country, Hungary.
Learning slang before proper language is like run before crawl or walk. No, right. Most people don't speak with received pronunciation, and
not
slang.
At all.
You know, slang is just additional vocabulary. It's just like an adjective in the form of an adjective that everyone knows. Slang is like, oh, I'm going to say this random adjective instead, and Richie probably won't know it, and Richie might use one that I don't know. But, you know, like learning proper English, you know, it's what I don't quite know what you mean by proper English. If you mean learning to speak the Queen's English, you know, I don't speak the Queen's English. Richie doesn't speak the Queen's English. No member of my family speaks the Queen's English. So I wouldn't, you know, if you want to learn the Queen's English, you can, but I don't understand why that is so like high above slang.
Berbatov is Bulgarian. I'm Hungarian. That's two different countries. Active and IELTS.
What are your thoughts about anxiety and frustration? Everybody gets anxious and frustrated when learning a language. In my
drink a lot of whiskey.
Yeah, there you go. If you get anxious and and frustrated when learning a language, maybe just step back for like a day or 2 days and go back to what you were learning before. You know, people don't have to learn every single day to learn a language. Just allow yourself some time maybe away from that language. You know, especially when speaking a language to a native, it's natural to get anxious because you're scared that you're going to go wrong, you're scared that you're going to look stupid. You know, native speakers in any language just like that someone is attempting to speak their language. You know,
yes.
You're going to make mistakes. It's natural. You know,
yes.
Everybody does. Everybody gets nervous. Everybody gets anxious. You kind of just have to get over that and even like feign confidence for a while. Just pretend you're confident and then, you know, slowly.
Hello, Paris. Hello,
Hi,
Paris.
Paris. You sound
Exactly.
like
For example, my brother, he didn't speak English. Okay, he could speak some English before going to, residing in England. And him and we love football very much. He was a Chelsea fan, and I was an Arsenal fan. I'm still an Arsenal fan. And when we worked at a factory first. There was a British guy, I can't remember, an English guy, I can't remember his name, but it was really nice. And he helped my brother through the frustration, anxiety, and shyness through football, because that's the common ground.
Yeah.
So first they started to talk about, let's say, just they said names or football terminology whatsoever. Now my brother is a project manager at Citibank, and he speaks English fluently.
It's finding someone to practice with as well that you feel comfortable with, whether that be a friend or a teacher or someone that, if you're going to feel more anxious if you try and speak in that language and you are met with ridicule or something. If you have a teacher that is kind of crappy and points out every mistake you make and makes you feel bad about making those mistakes, then you are going to have frustration and anxiety in the future. You need to be surrounded by supportive people who will help you on your language journey and not hinder you by being negative if you make a mistake. Also, do I speak another language? I speak very beginner Korean, like low intermediate, I'd say. What do you like more, British accent or American? That's subjective, really. I'm British, so I speak the British accent.
But that's when people ask me British accent or American, and I ask them back. There's nothing like British accent, because there's Scottish, there's Welsh, there's Irish. So there's nothing like British accent. For example, I can do Scottish accent because my first boss, first employer when I moved to York was a Scottish person, and on my very first interview I couldn't understand him. Couldn't understand him because
Scottish is hard to understand.
Exactly, he was from Edinburgh, and I couldn't understand the word.
Okay.
I'm telling you, couldn't understand the word. I was just like, yeah, good. Some syllables I could understand really, and he was really nice, Mr. Harrison. And after a while, he started to show me that Richard, it's not that really difficult, not that really hard to understand and speak Scottish accent, because you just need to focus on the vowel sounds, because that's the thing that really changed. And then I could speak with a Scottish accent. I can still speak it, not 100%, not 100%, but because I came back to Hungary 8 years ago, and it's been deteriorating for about like 8 years now, maybe a little bit more than that. But still, I can speak some Scottish and Scouse as well. So what are you talking about? There's nothing like British accent. There's like there's like Irish, Welsh, and even Scottish. It matters if it's a Highlander or a Lowlander or maybe a Glaswegian. Come on, it's so different. There's my brother in the background.
There's a random person in your house, Richie. I just saw a question from Learn Italian, English, Spanish. You have the longest name ever, by the way. What do you think about native speakers who mock foreigners because of their strange accent? Those guys are assholes, and you should ignore them.
Exactly, and I've never came across British people mocking me or mocking my brother.
They are immature, or they are like actually children. And just ignore them because they are assholes and they don't deserve your time or your breath.
What a nice word.
Yeah, what arsehole.
Or maybe you can say my name, my nickname, in a collocation with a head. You know, Richard.
Oh, they're dickheads.
I'm a dick.
The thing
All right.
about the British and American accent as well, I feel when people say British accent, you know that they probably mean received pronunciation. I don't quite know what specific accent people mean when they generalize like American accent. Like what, you know, with British, it's like, oh, well, they mean received pronunciation. I don't know what. America is bloody huge, you know. Texas is like 10 times the size of the UK. So
Yes.
what accent do you want when you say
Exactly. Just
40-year-old children? Yes.
exactly. Or go to the bayous of Louisiana and you won't
Yeah.
understand the word.
Yeah, it's great. Like
Exactly.
I feel it's I've said many times before that the more someone wants to try and like force themselves to do an accent, the less native they sound. You know, people, if they are surrounded by British people or American people, pick up like the twangs of the accent, the, you know, the small little quirks. If someone just shadows a British accent, you know, you can
Yes.
pick it
Yes.
up, but
Shadow.
sometimes it just sounds like they are mimicking a British accent, very much like Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins. No, not you. You know what? I was amazed to find out that you were not a native British speaker. I was gobsmacked.
Just nice. You're just nice.
I'm really not. I'm genuinely not. I've seen other people say exactly the same thing about you. It's not just me who thinks it.
Hello, Sinner.
That was a classic. I say that all the time. Like people who just want the accent but are not surrounded by people who speak in a British accent or American accent or whatever, sound like a like over the top like caricature of someone. It's like they're trying to, I don't want to say like do it in an insulting way. It's just, you know, when you see people like comedians that are pretending to be British and they do this really over the top accent, it almost kind of sounds like that. Oh, my best teacher, he is perfect. Ah, that's so cute.
No, I'm not. I'm not perfect. That's you, Sinner. That's you, Sinner.
Oh,
He's from Iran. I used to teach him one of my groups. He's a lovely person.
I agree.
Unfortunately, he's not here in Budapest now.
No.
And we went to you know the pub I was talking about, London Stone Pub. Sina, come back. Let's go together to the pub.
Come back.
Come back. I'm telling you.
If people shadow an accent, they can kind of
Exactly. Shadowing. For
you know, you
example,
pick up parts of it. You don't need to sound British.
yeah,
You know, like
you don't
that
need.
may eventually come if you practice and shadow and surround yourself enough, but you can't, you know, people want to reach it like the next day. Greetings from Mexico. Hello. From Liverpool. I thought he was from Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Not from Liverpool though. I can't do a Scouse accent at all.
I'm baking a fake cake, alright?
You're right. You're right.
Alright, mate. Don't worry.
It doesn't still sound British. Yeah, Austin Powers. Austin Powers is like 10 out of 10.
That's spot on. That's spot on. And the Scottish and the fat bastard. I love it. I absolutely love fat bastard.
He was one of my favorites too.
Yeah, exactly.
I only learned the British accent by Austin Powers and Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins.
And what do you say about Johnny Depp and the Pirates of the Caribbean?
I was literally having this conversation this morning. I've never seen the Pirates of the Caribbean, so I don't know. Can I speak like Danny Dyer? I'm trying to think how Danny Dyer sounds.
Danny Dyer. Danny Dyer, I think, is Newcastle. He's a Geordie. I think yeah, that's Newcastle. Danny Dyer.
I can't think how he talks though. You know, like I could probably mimic him, but I can't think what he talks like. I probably could.
You know, like
Do
the
it in
Geordie
next
Shore,
life.
Geordie Shore guys.
I've got a friend who's a Geordie, and I'm trying to think how she talks. I can't, off the top of my head, think what it sounds like in my head. My language names are already built when I was
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Alex Ferguson is Scottish. Alex Ferguson is Scottish. I really love Scottish accent, Edinburgh accent. I really love it.
Geordie's like, why are you, man?
Why
That
aye
sort of
man?
thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
why
that's, I
aye man?
can't think of any of I can't. I'd have to hear it to mimic it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what the accent's like in Oxford.
I think it's natural. It's really natural. The
He
Oxford
speaks
accent.
Cockney. Maybe
Danny
he is.
Dyer, you're talking about Hamza, you're talking about Danny Dyer.
How do you know so much
West
about
Ham
him?
United. West Ham United. Okay.
I don't know
I'll
how
give
you
you
know
that
so much
one.
about him.
Give it that one. Don't know. Never been to London. I'm an Arsenal fan, but never been to London. I actually don't really like London.
Neither do I.
Only the pub.
I've been like 2 or 3 times ever, and it's not a place that I particularly enjoy. It's very to everyone who has like a dream about going to London, still live out that dream. It's very, very busy. It's so crowded. If you want to see any of the attractions, then there's like 6 feet of people in front of you. Like Buckingham Palace, you can barely get anywhere near it. If they're doing like a changing of the guards, then you can't see it. So, London is very pretty.
A smaller city is better. Travel and visit York. Visit York, I'm telling you,
I
it's
really do want to
full
go
of
there.
absolutely amazing
It looks very
attraction
cute.
sites, and you wouldn't know. There's the Viking Trail, the Ghost Walks, the Yorkshire Museum, beautiful. Castle Museum, Clifford's Tower, the dungeons. There's a lot. Roundtree Park, that's beautiful. Yeah, exactly. And
If you've got
there's
a long weekend, go to Edinburgh because it's very beautiful there too.
the only capital city I really like is Edinburgh.
I love it there. It's a nice place for a long weekend, but it's unless you're going like on I can't remember what it's called, that hill. I can't remember what it's called
There's a
now.
question for you.
Do I like Brighton? I've never been to Brighton actually. Some of my friends live in Brighton, but I've never actually been, so I cannot comment on Brighton because I don't know if I like it or not.
There's a football team there.
There is. I don't really like football. They're probably going to have everyone hate me.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing I know. And there's Big Mama's food shack, soul food shack there, I think, in Brighton.
Have I ever seen the Queen live? That's a tricky question. I was in London once, and her carriage went, like, I looked in the distance and her carriage had just gone. So she might have been in it. She might have not. Potentially saw the Queen.
Who knows?
But like a golden carriage that's very, it's very over the top. I looked out the back of a taxi, I think. I was a kid and I saw it. So maybe she was in it. I'll pretend she was in it. Yes, I saw the Queen when I was a child. Nobody really sees the Queen, unless you're there for a royal wedding or something and in the crowds of literally millions. Then you might see her on the balcony if you're stood there. But, nobody really sees the Queen live. It's very heavily guarded.
Born and bred into the royal family.
Yeah. Or just go to a fancy university and marry a royal, or be a famous actress and marry a royal.
That's what I was thinking of. Meghan Markle. Hello.
Like Cinderella. Yeah.
So there's someone. How can I look up my writing skills? Tika, any?
I'm guessing they mean to improve it. You only really improve in anything by doing it. I with writing, if you don't really write much now, I would suggest making a diary and writing or like even writing memos or something if you don't want a diary, you know, and that teaches you vocabulary, but also, you know, improves your writing and your handwriting. Really, the more you do something, the more your muscle memory can remember doing it as well. It's like
From
I
the
just
sea,
solved the world crisis.
Mussels from the sea, very tasty.
I don't like mussels. Not a big seafood fan.
I was using a
practice.
yeah, exactly. And Tika's got a very, very nice and very, very effective point of view. Writing anything, a diary whatsoever. I myself, I write lyrics.
Mm.
I write rhymes.
Mm.
Rhymes.
Mm.
When I hear, for example, like a collocation or a phrasal verb or anything new, I try to put it into a rhyme because you know, for example, let's say there's Cockney. Okay, there's a new word. Let's say that's a new word for me. Okay, Cockney, new word. I instantly try to put it into or write it into a rhyme. Cockney or hockey or something. I'm not a Canadian, so I don't like hockey, but I like British accents. I want to learn Cockney. And hockey Cockney, because it rhymes, to me, it works. Because it rhymes. Okay, what was the word that rhymed with hockey? Oh, Cockney. That's how I, you know, from the back of the mind or something, from the brain, I get it instantly.
See, I'm not like a songwriter, so I wouldn't like do that. But I like it, even in English, I like making like a diary every day. So with the language, that's obviously, yeah, it's the same thing again. Do what you enjoy. If you like writing song lyrics, then write song lyrics. If you like writing stories, then write stories or poems.
Exactly.
Have a butcher's. What you enjoy the most.
Have a gander, have a butcher's, yeah?
Have a gander. He is a banker. I'm pretty sure that's Cockney slang. That's not very nice. I don't know that one, but I can guess what it is.
Exactly. Okay, all right. Let me get some sausage. Let me get some sausage and bangers, and let me have a gander, because I'm not a banker, but I have to tell you that Tika's a very good slanger. There you go. Banger.
I don't give a damn.
Banger, gander, banker, slanger. There you go.
Yeah, so there you go. You've got like new vocabulary. You just got to learn like what you, well, not even learn, you've just got to find what you enjoy and do it in your second language.
Yes. If you enjoy it, it's going to stick with you.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to want to do it. So what's the point? If you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. So you're not going to learn. So
exactly. And you know, sorry. There you go. Finish it.
Carry on.
No. Finish it, please.
I have spoken. Carry on.
All right. And you know, maybe I wouldn't say I'm the best example, but I'm not a native speaker. So if I could acquire the language, and I use these kind of methods and ways, maybe you should give it a go, give it a try. Learn it.
Do it, anyone can. Is it important knowing register? What, like, I feel like people would, if you didn't know a piece of vocabulary, whether it be register or not, and you told someone, I don't understand what you mean, then they'd use a different word instead. You know, with any vocabulary, if you look confused or if you say you don't understand, from register, your me China is a great Richie, you are my China plate.
Mate. Cockney rhyming.
That's the one that so many people do not use now. That's so old. Me old China. I think with any vocabulary, you know, I come across in English vocabulary that I do not know. And I say to someone, I don't know what that word means. You know, so whether it be register or whether it be a different piece of vocabulary. You know, if you tell someone you don't know what it means, then they'll either explain it or they'll use another word in its place. Like if someone says, oh, I don't think that registered with him, then you'll go, what? And they'll go, oh, I don't think he was listening. I don't think he understood what he said. You know, it's not, you know, people, even with amongst English speakers, are good at changing their sentence if someone doesn't understand. So you are a locker. A locker is something that you put something in and lock it to keep it safe. So I'm not sure what you mean.
What is locker? What is locker? What does it mean? Never heard.
A locker. Have you ever seen a film or a TV series where they're in a school and they have those big metal things?
I know that. I thought it was a slang term.
No. I don't know if they meant you're a looker and they spelled it wrong. I'm not sure, because the only locker I know is a locker like you have in school.
Yeah, exactly.
That children get locked in when they're
by bullies.
By bullies when they're naughty.
Yeah, naughty boys, naughty.
I wouldn't fit in our lockers, to be honest. I was a fat kid.
Yes, exactly. For example, you can say exactly like regional dialects. That's what she was talking about. For example, let's say, how do you say, Tika? How do you say, or what do you say when something is very good, really good? What do you say? Is it something like in Nottingham, where you live?
So if something's quite good here, we would maybe say like, oh, that's dawdy.
Never heard.
Yeah, so that's like, oh, that's really good. Oh, that's dawdy. My coined word. What, a locker is your coined word? Okay, fair enough. You can coin a word if you want. Also, what did... Oh, sorry, that was for Richie. Did you see that question for you?
Which one?
Is it true that in Hungary the cinema movies are shown in the original language and then in brackets English?
No, dubbed. And that is very, very not useful.
I don't like dubbed movies.
All of them are dubbed.
Oh.
All of them dubbed. Most of the time. Maybe the first screening is not dubbed, but let's say like 90% of the films are dubbed. I don't think it's good.
In Mexico, we use a kind of Cockney language, but in Spanish. I would love to hear that. That sounds so interesting. To have, like, I don't know, I like the thought of like really unusual dialects in other languages too.
So, exactly. Tika would say dodi.
Yeah.
For something that's very good.
Yeah.
I myself, because I lived in Yorkshire, I'd say smashing. So two different words. That was smashing. That was cracking. That's what I would say. So that's why it's... And maybe Welsh people would say tidy.
Yeah. Tidy is such an unusual slang term for me. Like, I only know tidy. It's like, oh, my room is tidy.
Yeah,
if someone
exactly.
Like says, oh, that girl's really tidy, I'd be like, what? But yeah, we don't know regional slang for everywhere.
Exactly. And they Welsh people, some Welsh people, not all of them, would say partial as well. That was
Charlie,
partial.
I literally read that in the you know, the Goonies, that hey you guys, because you did a really long hey, so it made me think of the Goonies. Hey Charlie, what time is it in Japan right now? 1:30? Why are you awake? I'm knackered. Yeah, that's tired. Pretty smoking. That seems kind of American. Huh? What did you say?
No, nothing. I'm knackered. I was just in really.
That's an old one.
That's one of my favorite words. Knackered. Don't know why.
I use it all the time.
I'm knackered.
Yeah, I always feel knackered, so I do use it a lot.
Really love it. Really love it. And
This car's
gobsmacked.
knackered.
And
I'm knackered.
Gobsmacked,
was
flabbergasted. Love them.
Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted? What? I'm flabbergasted. I'm
After
gobsmacked.
9 hours of straight lessons, I'm knackered. I'm off to bed. So even Charlie uses knackered.
I'm
Go
off to bed for
Charlie. Night and happy Saturday. Happy Sunday to you. The accent of Essex is nice to know. It's really not. In my personal opinion, it's really not.
Yeah, north. Anything that's up north, or maybe like Nottingham and that Scotland, I love it. But southern accents to me sound a little bit, don't know.
Good night,
But
Charlie. Yes, me.
Flabbergasted, yes,
Flabbergasted.
exactly, Persia. Flabbergasted.
Yeah, that's quite an old term. It's probably not used very often now.
Exactly.
Yeah, people might say, I don't know if it's maybe just me, but I feel that's more of an American thing for people to say, like I am beat. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it here, like around me anyway.
Scouse. 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 Scousers. I'm baking a fake, eh? I love the Scouse accent. I love it. That's my fourth favourite one. I love it. It's so alien, I might say, but in a very good way. First, when I went there, I was like, okay, what they are talking about? What they are talking about, really? Literally, what they are talking about. Then I started to, develop kind of a fondness for it, and yeah, now it's fourth favorite British accent.
Unique in its own special way.
Very unique, very unique. Just
I don't know if anyone would try and learn it that wasn't a native.
I'd love to. I'm a sucker for it. You know that.
You'd say, right, instead of I am so dead tired, like dead means like so something. Like I am dead tired means like I'm really tired. I'm so tired.
Bloody. You can say bloody. I'm bloody tired.
I'm bloody tired. But you don't need to put like so before dead. Like, oh, I'm dead hungry. Because dead just kind of means like very, really, extremely.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I'm dead tired. I'm bloody tired. Bloody. Exactly. Lovely.
There are words too that start with an F, but I wouldn't recommend you learn those expletives.
Fragging. Frigging.
Yeah, I'm frigging tired. That's the one I was on about. Listen to me. Right, love has the neon in. Listen to me, love.
That's with the U. That's with the U.
Ace,
you're right, love. You're right, love.
You're right, my love. Yeah, Ace is quite American.
What I say?
Bloody knackered. There you go. That's very British. Bloody knackered. That would be me in like 2 hours. I'll be like, oh, I'm bloody knackered.
I'm bloody knackered.
I'm always bloody. I wake up knackered.
I'm gonna be bloody mortal in about.
Mortal? That's such a teenage word, yeah. If people don't know mortal means like, well, I don't know what Richie's thought of it is, but for me around here, mortal means to be really, really drunk.
Yes.
Yeah. So if Richie says it's going to be mortal, it means he's going to be extremely drunk.
No. Ned Stark is not a scout.
I don't know. I can't think what Ned Stark sounds.
Yorkshire.
I can't remember what he sounds like.
Winter is coming. That's what he said. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. That's Yorkshire. Winter is coming.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. It's also Yorkshire.
Thank you. What was she called? Ingrid.
Ingrid. I loved her.
Oh, I loved her.
I loved her. And
hey Grace, how you doing? I think our live's nearly up. I think I started it at 4:45, so we have 4 minutes maybe. What is that? It won't like focus on it. It's focusing on your face.
Don't know. Maybe you can see it.
Not without my glasses on. I'm
That's
pretty
the
blind.
Starks, you know, that's the dire wolf. That's the dire wolf.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you finished Game of Thrones?
Once again, I couldn't hear you, sorry.
Have you finished Game of Thrones?
Yeah, finished.
What did you think
Unfortunately.
of the last series?
Arya,
Hmm.
it's a mixed bag. If you know what to me, it's a very mixed bag to me.
Yeah.
Because I've really loved everything and anything that was Stark, Yorkshire, thing like that.
Yeah.
And I really, really loved Arya's character arc. But season 6, 7, couldn't find any character arc in Arya's character
It's
arc.
like they just kind of scrapped it and they were like,
Yes,
right,
exactly.
we just need to,
Exactly.
we've got limited time.
And she was stabbed like gazillion times in the abdomen and things. And how could she have survived it? So
of course, I watched the TV series. I haven't read the books.
Vikings, exactly. Vikings, second favorite for me. Second
I
favorite.
haven't seen it.
King Ragnar. King Ragnar. King Ragnar. Yes, Ragnar. Vikings. I'm also a a huge Vikings fan. So I'm actually learning the Scandinavian accent through the series Vikings.
She's like a polyglot, but with accent.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I don't know if there's a term for that, but I'm just calling it an accent glot.
Okay, I'll give you that. I can give you that one.
There you go. Richie can just do many accents. I can do
No, not many.
A few.
Not many. Maybe 13.
Ending was so silly and stupid. I thought it was very anticlimactic.
Anticlimactic, exactly.
Yeah, like they build you up from the start. It started like the start of the whole series was just so good, and then like it ended like that, and you were like, "Oh, well, I've watched this for like years for this to happen." The choose, I haven't seen any of these. I feel like I'm missing out.
Last Kingdom, third best one, and actually, Last Kingdom is shot here, very close to Budapest. The scenery. So if you maybe if you want to get acquainted with Hungary and the scenery and you know the vicinity of Budapest, Last Kingdom, because it's shot very close here. There's a forest like not you know the Sherwood forest, not close to no. There's a forest here. It's called Pilis in Hungary.
We have 2 minutes remaining. Just giving you a time warning. It's just come up. I'll give you random time warnings. Right, we've still got 2 minutes. You can carry on. Carry on,
love.
No, carry on what you were saying, unless I've thrown you off and you can't remember.
No, it's just if you haven't seen any episodes of Last Kingdom, maybe that's Hungary actually. That's a forest very close to Budapest.
I don't think I can't remember what it's called now. There was a film that was filmed near somewhere that I live. Oh, why can't I remember what it's called? The Da Vinci Code was filmed in the cathedral. There's a big cathedral in Lincolnshire, which is a place kind of near me. And they filmed in there, and the cathedral is amazing. Like I've been in there on some
You're talking about Lincoln Cathedral?
Yeah.
I've been there. That's amazing. Oh
it
my
is
God.
Amazing.
And the castle as well. Come on.
Downton Abbey.
Fountain Abbey. Downton Abbey. Okay, go to Fountains Abbey.
I haven't seen it. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't seen it personally.
Right.
Isn't it Michelle Doherty? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't seen it, so maybe it is a different person to what I'm thinking of.
All right.
To finish it, I do think they had like a time scale to finish it.
Yes, there is.
And they
crammed
everything into a small amount of episodes. and kind of ruined it.
Mm.
Someone said the other day, like, how quickly did we forget about Game of Thrones? Like, it was like as soon as it ended, a month later,
Yes,
everyone's
because
like,
that was really anticlimactic, and that's why, I think.